So they come up to the start here. You can visually see that there's not as much standing water. And Urban looks like he's got the jump. And Zach Zaloom's going to want to try and get in there, but McDonnell's holding on the outside, and he's going to come around to the inside of Urban, and he's got through to the lead. That's a mega drive, but Urban's come back, and he's got the inside through to that right-hander. So Urban's come back through, and we've got a couple of carts off there. Sorry, I missed that. It looks like a wheel, so someone's forgotten to do up the wheel nuts on that one. I've certainly been in that position before, but as we look back here, Urban's back to the lead. McDonnell in behind. Urban looks like he's really comfortable in these conditions. Zach Zaloom there in third, putting some pressure on Jordan. Ryan looks to be just driving away now. So the order after first lap: Urban, McDonnell, Zaloom, Hunter, Moore. Cunningham flying up to 6th spot. This could be his year. 7th spot is Hartley, and Bradley Terrell all the way up to 8th. He didn't finish the last race, so that's a good start from him. So back to the leaders here. You can see Urban's just edging away from Jordan. Zach Zaloom is not far behind. Jordan mentioned to me that he's not a big fan of the rain, but he's doing well so far to hold off Zach Zaloom. You can see the water there in that puddle. You really want to avoid that. Looks like Urban might have this thing tied up if he can keep building that lead. And McDonnell's got a little bit of a lead on Zaloom as well. Tyrrell's up to 7th. Key to being fast in these conditions is being nice and smooth. A couple of guys running too wide through there. Oh, and a bit of a moment. So Urban still. McDonnell's not letting him get away. Looks like he's edged a bit of a gap to Zaloom. And it looks like Jordan's come right back on. So as soon as I said it looked like Urban was comfortable, it seems that McDonnell's picked up a bit of pace, and there's some guys running really defensive down into turn 1. And still running too wide through there. So 11 laps in this final. We've got 8 to go at the moment. Looks like Jordan McDonnell's got the pace here. This would be an outstanding result if he could get up to the front. So McDonnell, he's running 47.6s. Ryan Urban has responded on that last lap to go a couple of tenths faster than his previous, but he's still slower than McDonnell, so could be on here. Good little battle packs down here. Looks like Teddy Bassett's going to have a little look. You can see Claxton and Bassett back there. Gary Claxton running the fan visor, so he has a spinning disc with some fins on it, and as he drives through the air, pushes the fins on the disc around to spin all the water off. So still Urban, McDonnell matching each other now for times. Wonder if McDonnell's just getting held up a little bit. Zach Zaloom's not far off the pace, but Simon Hunter's just put in a 47.7, so he's picking up the pace too. Cunningham looking relatively comfortable there in 6th. He'll be happy with that. Surely James has obviously picked up some tips from me and gone back and shared them with Aaron. So still Urban leads. Be 5 laps to go as they come around now. McDonnell's getting closer. That lap he was another 10th faster, so he's just slowly edging in. Of course, it's one thing to catch up and it's another to pass, but that card of McDonnell's, I might have mentioned it was an arrow before, but I've been corrected. It's a BRM, so he's really enjoying that BRM chassis, and he's putting some pressure on the Drew Price built Deadly kart. So Urban still really under pressure now from McDonnell. This is a great drive from the youngster. And there's a bit of biff and barge back there. Still, Urban holds that lead. And it looks as though Simon Hunter's got right on the back. And they might be looking for a bit of moisture there on Simon Hunter's tyres. Basically just trying to find some cool water to bring that temperature of those tyres down. I wouldn't have expected them to be doing that this early. But there, as I mentioned, so Zach Zaloom and Simon Hunter are now running about 2.5 tenths faster than the front two. This could turn into an epic battle for the first spot. So McDonnell still putting pressure. Looks like Urban might be holding him up a bit. And a big dive down there. Urban still 3 laps to go this time round. The order: Urban, McDonnell, Zaloom, Hunter. Bit of a gap back there to Brad Terrell, who's just got lane more on that last lap. And Aaron Cunningham's got more, so Aaron's up to the 6th spot. Losing one to Brad Terrell by the looks. Brad's going really good in these conditions. Go back to 8th spot. Brendan Gridley, Caleb Hartley 9th, and Sean Ray rounding out that top 10. McDonnell still putting the pressure on Urban. Looks like Zaloom and Simon Hunter have dropped off a little fraction there. Certainly looks like Urban's holding up McDonnell. McDonnell really want to get this this win here. It puts him on the pole position for the final this afternoon. Really important, especially if it's wet. You're not going to be able to run out on that wide line. Certainly in the senior heavy class where they're not afraid to give you a little rub. So looks like McDonnell's got by Urban there. So there's a change for the lead. McDonnell has absolutely driven the wheels off this thing today. That is a very impressive drive from the youngster from Canterbury, and he's immediately put a gap into Urban. So he was certainly being held up there. Zaloom now will be looking to put some pressure on, but we're on the last lap, so he might just be running out of time. Yellow flag there for a kart up on the left. That looks like the Esprit kart. I think that's Teddy Bassick. So he's going to be a bit disappointed to be sitting up there. Brad Terrell's just put in one of the fastest laps of the race, so I did mention he's a one to watch out for. He could really put some pressure on these guys. And Simon Hunter's got by Zach Zaloom for the 3rd spot. And McDonnell, what a drive for the youngster, pipping Ryan Urban. He will be really happy with that. He's going to get the inside line for the start of the next race. So the order there: McDonnell, Urban, Hunter in the 3rd spot, ahead of Zaloom. Bradley Terrell coming up to 5th spot from way back, and Aaron Cunningham there in the 6th. He'll be happy. Lane Moore gone shuffled back there to the 7th spot. Brendan Gridley, Caleb Hartley, and Sean Ray round out the top 10, followed by Taylor Forbes, Aaron DeRitter, Brendan Hart, Jared Cleghorn, Bryce Colbeck, Liam Young, George Keast, Gary Claxton down in the 18th spot, and then you have Teddy Bassick, who didn't finish those last 2 laps.